Hi, everyone, and thanks for listening. This is the Collective Health and Wellness Podcast with Eamon and Kat. We have a team of fitness and wellness coaches dedicated to helping you become a healthier, more productive version of yourself. Our mission is to provide you with information and opportunities to maintain a healthy lifestyle forever. Join us as we dive into our 4 pillars of health and wellness and give you ways to incorporate healthy, sustainable habits to last a lifetime.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Health and Wellness Podcast. I believe this is the 8th episode. I'm flying solo today. I kind of wanted to talk about something and figured I'd just record it, put my thoughts out there and get it out to the masses of people that are following the podcast, which I don't even know how many there are of you. So this week in my wellness newsletter, I talked about creating systems in order to help reduce stress and what that has done for me in my personal and professional life. So creating systems is almost like your personal standard operating procedures. The way that you look at things and kind of how you go through your day, there's certain things that you have to get done. For me, it's like I have to take my kids to school, and then once I take my kids to school, I get to work whatever I'm working on that day. I have a number of projects that I have going on at any given time. And then from there, I kind of cut my day off at a certain time and I head over to the gym and get my workout in. And then I come home, and most days during the week, I'm responsible for getting the kids to bed and making sure that they're all set, and then making dinner and kind of doing the normal life things. And those are the systems that I have. I wake up every morning, probably around 5:30 or 6, depending on if one of my kids wakes me up early or not. And I'm not the kind of guy that, goes right back to bed. I don't nap. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. If I'm napping, then typically I've had a rough day. So, those are like my standard procedures for the day. These are the things that, hey, I know I got to get this stuff done. These are the time constraints that I have with that stuff. And then, within my work day, I typically have a list of things that I want to accomplish for the week, and I kind of chip away at that as we're going on. And that's just how I've designed my life to this point, and it kind of blends professional and personal pretty well. For somebody that works a regular 9 to 5, that 9 to 5 is pretty much sectioned out for you. So you know what your work schedule is, how you start your day and how you end your day, and what happens in that work schedule are 3 very different things, right? So most people have some form of a morning routine, and that can kind of be part of your standard operating procedure. For me, it's I wake up, I get my kids some food, I make my coffee. It's kind of like a very therapeutic process for me, and it kind of gets me going in the morning. And then, I pack lunches and get the kids fed, get my wife fed, get them off for their day, and then I can come back and start working on my work day. And I try to compact a lot of things into a very small amount of time. After that work day, like I said, I cut it off probably around like 3:00, and then I head over to the gym and get my workout in, and I come home and I spend the rest of the night with my kids. The reason why, and then there's a nightly routine as well. Sorry, I was talking about morning routines, then there's nightly routines. Some people's morning routines, the coffee might involve some journaling, which is great. It might involve, cooking, which is therapeutic for some people. But getting your day started in a way that you are familiar with definitely helps kind of set the tone for the day. Your nightly routine helps you down regulate, right? So for me, that's things like wearing blue light blocking glasses, so that like if I'm looking at a screen like I am right now, and it is nighttime here, it's not affecting my ability to down regulate and go to sleep. I take some melatonin. I typically shower at night. There's there's the nightly routine stuff. I try to get into bed by about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And that's kind of like my nightly routine. The reason why I like routine is that if something comes in that's unexpected, a project pops up or an issue pops up or an opportunity pops up, and, you're kind of thrown for a loop throughout that day. It's very easy to, like, once you've addressed whatever the need is at that point, it's very easy to get back on track and back into the flow of your day without causing or adding too much stress to that. I know I talk about morning and night routines, but as far as, like, for me, for my work day, as an entrepreneur, I don't really, I guess I do answer to people. I answer to the people that I service with the number of things that I'm involved in. I have meetings that I have to go to. I have things that pop up, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, keeping a schedule and having a schedule on a calendar is my standard operating procedure. I share the calendar with my wife. We both know what's going on with each other's lives. So that way, if we can't communicate, it's there, and it's like, hey, did you check the calendar? It's a little bit of, like, it gets me out of some things sometimes. It's like, hey, you didn't look at the calendar. Not my fault. But like I said, like, I write things down at the beginning of the week. This is the list of tasks that I want to complete. I use my phone. I just put it in notes. The top of it just says to do week of whatever the week is. And then, I fill the things in there that need to get done for that week. Once I have done that, it's very easy for me to just go by and, like, check things off and finish up what I'm working on for that week. And that's kind of my standard operating procedure. So then if something does pop up that I need to address, it's very easy for me to get right back into a workflow and kind of, like, find that flow state again and get back to work doing whatever I'm doing. Luckily for me, I enjoy what I do, so it's not very hard. So creating systems and having that system in place definitely reduces stress. And how does it do that? Well, like I said, if you can get back into that workflow and get back into that state, you don't feel like you're leaving anything out, right? Or if you have, like, a list of tasks for the week, it's, you might push something to the next day, but it's not gonna be the end all be all for the day. You can flow right back into that after you've addressed whatever you need to address, and therefore that reduces stress. Well, what does the reduction of stress do? It makes you a lot more pleasant to be around, first of all. Second of all, for me, for employees that work for me, if they're able to address a problem and then get right back to what they're doing, that is a good thing for me, because then they're moving along that path. And that's the kind of person that I want to promote. That's the kind of person I'm like, hey, they can take on things and address it, and then they get right back into their flow of work or flow of life or flow of whatever. And then additionally, it actually does, once we reduce our stress, our sleep tends to improve. And I know that we talk a lot about kind of the spectrum that we have of movement, nutrition, sleep, and mental resilience. And, it definitely helps to improve your sleep by reducing your stress. And it also helps you to address your mental resilience in that, you're not kind of, like, leaning over this, like, looming problem that, you took forever on a solution for, or you feel like you're not doing well with. It just allows you to address that a lot more intently and get the work done for that. So I know this is a short one this week. I'd love to talk more about creating systems and how people can do that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out or leave a comment in the show notes. Take care, guys. Have a great week.
Thanks a lot for listening. We appreciate your support. Please consider subscribing to the podcast and giving us a 5-star rating. If you'd like to leave direct feedback, leave us a comment on our YouTube channel, Collective Health and Wellness Corporate. Wishing you all the best this week, and we'll talk to you next time.